I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. Chop up his soul Kanye, set on his goals Kanye. I hate the new Kanye.
Y'all, so this is gonna be episode 1 of my new podcast called The Pink Table Talk. I'm getting my hair together right now. Wait, Kiwi and Dawn!
I'm a video. You got done?
Say hi!
We're in the vlog?
Yes!
Okay, so what we doing today, Chastity? We're gonna be shooting what?
Pink Table Talk episode 1.
Episode 1.
Yeah. And we ready. This is Kiwi,
Hi,
big
guys.
Kiwi. This is the biggest Dawn I shall ever see.
The biggest
world.
Dawn.
Camera.
And
Bright
you
light.
got the little Dawn.
Hey.
And yeah, we're filming today.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
We have a lot more to show you guys. So
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You want anything?
Yeah, I want a iced coffee.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Chastity Autumn, and we're here with the first episode of the Pink Table Talk. Okay, the Pink Table Talk is a podcast where I interview different people of influence, not even just of influence, but just of the world that have come through different struggles to get to where they are today. So today's episode is going to be about me and how I've overcome different struggles to become who I am today and to get to where I am today. It's been a journey, y'all, and a journey is an understatement. My name is Chastity Autumn. I'm 24 years old. I'm a black girl raised in Brooklyn, New York, okay? And yeah, I don't want to really put myself in a box, y'all, so I'm just gonna say I have a long list of things that I am. I'm multi-talented. As y'all can see, today I'm a host of a podcast, okay? Right now we're in one of my businesses, and this is my beauty school, and we're in the influencer room. But yeah, in this room we'll be talking about different things I've gone through and people that I interview have gone through to get to where they are today in life. Today we're gonna give y'all a little bit about me, and y'all are gonna get to know me a little bit, because you know I don't really open up about who I am. I'm very like, you know, goofy, laughy, silly, all of that good stuff, but there's a lot of stuff, you know, that y'all don't know about me, so y'all gonna learn today. Yeah. So on this journey, y'all, of becoming who I am today, it took a lot of obedience and sacrifice. I would say I asked God to remove. So I know y'all seen like memes and stuff like that where they be like, I asked God to remove everybody from me, and he started removing them. And the truth is that really is he might remove every single person from your life, just because it's like that end goal, or just you asking him for your purpose, right? Your purpose might not include everything that you're used to. You know what I'm saying? So everything that he does end up stripping away from you, you'll see in the end. You have to believe in that bigger picture. So you'll see in the end why those things didn't add value or wouldn't be beneficial, or, you know, they wouldn't help that end goal, if that makes sense. And I would say, like, in my life, for example, I can just say, like, a lot of the things that I had to sacrifice, whether that be friendships or bad habits, I wouldn't have been, you know, able to be who I am today or just succeed in what I'm doing right now if those things were still around. So yeah, I would say just don't question it. And it's about, I would say it really tests not even your faith, but just building that relationship and trust with God. It's like, okay, I just have to trust that all of this stuff is going away for the bigger picture. So yeah, I would say staying obedient is really hard. You got to pray, but I would say each time that I would sacrifice something or just follow something that he would do, he would gift me. So it was like, I felt like that was me seeing like, oh snap, like I have to let this stuff go. Like, for example, me letting a friendship go in particular, I would say, whether that be a new friendship coming in, or just something in my life elevating, or me getting a gift in life, or just things would come my way when things that I let go were let go of completely. So I would say that was like the what's that word? The like, yeah, this is the reward you get for doing what I need you to do. But I would say it's really hard, but I don't know, you get addicted to the fruits, if that makes sense. Like once you're sacrificing so much, it's like, I'm addicted to sacrificing. Like, ooh, somebody could do one wrong thing. You'd be like, ooh, I think I gotta let you go. Maybe if I let you go, I'm about to get a gift for letting you go. Like, it's kind of crazy, but yeah. Because another thing is you have to pray, like, just how you're praying for removal, you have to pray for discernment. So it's like, you're gonna know that they have to go. Like, you're not gonna be like, it's not only going to be a like, if I let you go, then I'm going to get this. It's like, nah, I know you have to go. And I look forward to my gift whenever it comes. It's not like it's going to be an immediate gift right after. Like, you're going to wait for the fruits of your labor. But it's like, you're going to know with your discernment, like, okay, yeah, you have to go. It's going to become so much clearer to you, you know? So, yeah. So I've made a lot of sacrifices. Besides friendships, I've let go of a lot of habits that I had, which were, I'll start with one, which was smoking. I used to smoke a lot, but I used to struggle. So I'll just talk about, first I'm going to talk about how, like, right now in my present day, how it affects me for the better. So I would say, like, not smoking, I don't look high. I used to look really high, like, my eyes used to be really low. I just feel like, even when I used to do photo shoots, I feel like I used to look cockeyed. Like, I used to be doing photo shoots and I used to be like, I look cockeyed, like, I don't know what's wrong or whatever the case may be. Or my mind just wouldn't be there when it came to interviews, because I used to interview for podcasts and I just feel like I used to look off. Or it's just me in the present day right now. Like, I teach, I'm working with younger students all the time, so it's like, I want to be present. I want to not smell like weed. I feel like sometimes when you smoke, you don't even realize that you carry an odor. And then just the rooms that I'm walking in now, like, whether that be in the political realm, like, I'm walking into different spaces, it's like, I don't want it to even come across like, yeah, she smokes, you know what I'm saying? So I would say, like, that was a big thing for me. And then I used to always, like, doubt myself. Like, something could happen in the present and I could go home and be like, did that really happen? Or I could hear somebody talking about me right now in this moment, and then I would go home and be like, yo, maybe they wasn't talking about me. Like, maybe that didn't really happen, but I knew it happened. So I feel like, not even just talking about me, but I would just be in a whole bunch of situations like that where I'll be questioning myself, like, did this really happen? But then I feel like when I let go of it, now I know for certain. Like, I feel like that helped with going back to my first thing that I was talking to y'all about, just discernment, period. Like, I have so much clarity now that it's like, nah, like, so I would say that was something. And then I would say another thing was just friendships. I had to let go of friendships, not just because they were bad friends or whatever the case may be, but just because of the fact that it was like, those friends were doing the things that I was trying to stop doing, you know? So that's kind of hard when you're trying to stop doing stuff and then you're going around people that are still doing the things that you're not trying to do. So what was I gonna say? For example, I used to have this one friend, and that friend is a great friend. Like, even still to this day, I would say that friend was a great friend, but it was just like, when I would go by that friend's house or whatever the case may be, I would be unproductive. They would come out with the spliff, you know, and it's like, oh, like, I shouldn't smoke it because I know I'm going to start being lazy and I'm going to go to sleep. But it was like, no, I just need to hit it and then I'm going to do what I need to do. But I would never do what I needed to do. So I feel like it used to make me procrastinate a lot, and I hated that because I had so much to do. And it's like, I would say, like, I want to be here, I want to be here. But it was like, I wasn't having any energy to do none of the things I needed to do to get where I wanted to be, because I was just, you know, I was high to the sky. So yeah, even just to go into that, y'all, I would even say, like, I didn't realize that idolization came in so many forms. So when I started getting closer to God and, like, reading, I got this book and it's called Why Is It a Sin? Right, and there were so many things in there, and one word that they had in there was idolization. So in my head, I'm just thinking of, you know, people fangirling over this person and that person, but it broke it down. So it broke it down into different things. Like, it was like being addicted to things is idolization. So I would say just that weed was something that, you know, not even just I was distracted and stuff like that, but it was a coping mechanism. If I'm sad, I'm gonna smoke. If I was angry, I need to smoke to calm down. If I want to go to sleep, I need to smoke, then I'm gonna fall asleep. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna smoke, and then I'm gonna get hungry. Like, it used to be something that I relied on. So when I started, like, reading the Bible and getting in tune as far as what is a sin, it was stating that idolization was a sin, and I felt like weed was something that I did idolize. Like, it was something that I did draw to. So they'll say, like, God is a jealous God, and that just literally means, like, he wants you to come to him before you come to anything. So if you sad and then you go pull a spliff, like take a pull, he's tight, because it's like, girl, why you didn't just come to me and pray and see what would have happened? Like, you never know what would happen. So I feel like now, instead of like turning to the things that I used to turn to, I just turn to him, and I love the responses more than what I would get when I was high, because I feel like high or drunk or whatever the case may be was like a temporary, you know, band-aid for the healing. I feel like God will stitch it up and heal it. The band-aid is just the band-aid, you know? So yeah. I know when a habit is not like contributing to my growth, or like a relationship is not contributing to my growth, when I'm constantly questioning it. So they say that God literally sends nothing in confusion. So nothing in confusion is going to come from God. He's going to be real clear. That comes in relationships too, like not even friendships, but relationships, like a boyfriend. So if it's like you're sitting here questioning like, God, like why he can't just do this, why we can't be together, whatever the case may be, it's like, because this is not from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could try and do it yourself all you want, whether that comes to anything, but it's like God is real clear. You know what I'm saying? So if an opportunity presents itself and it's for you, you're not gonna have no fear, no anxiety. And y'all, this goes back to what I said when I prayed for discernment. So when I prayed for discernment, it's like, all right, I'm questioning this, you gotta go. Like, I'm questioning this, you gotta go. Oh, I'm questioning this, if I should be doing it. Like, you're not gonna question nothing. When he comes and he hands you something, you're gonna know it's from him. Like, oh my God, thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say a huge thing for me is that nothing from God comes with question marks. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be real clear about what he wants you to do and what he wants you to be into. So yeah. I'm not that girl yet, I would say, because there's a lot of people that flex that they know different verses from the Bible and stuff like that. But I know different stories from the Bible. So one thing that I would say when it comes to letting things go in the past, there was like a story in the Bible where God had went to a land or a world, whatever the case may be, and everybody there was disobedient. Right? And he was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just destroy this world right here, because nobody here listens to me. And somebody came up to him and they're like, all right, but I think like, you know, like 10 of us like worship you though. Like, you're dragging it. You don't have to kill the whole world. Like 10 of us really mess with you. So then he was like, nah, like it's not even 10 of y'all that mess with me. So then he was like, all right, 9. And then he was like, nah, like not even 9. So then he was like 7. All right, boom. The story gets down to 2 people really worship God and put God first, whatever the case may be, follow God, follow Christ, right? And he like, you know what, I'm gonna destroy this world and I'm gonna take y'all to my new world, right? So he's walking them to their new world or whatever the case may be, and one of the people is continuously looking back at the old world. Like, she's walking and she sees like the crazy big world that they're walking to, but she's still looking back. So God was like, you know what, I'm going to turn you into salt. Like, you're going to be salty. So that's how I basically view that. Like, if you don't move forward and look forward, you're going to continue to be salty, and he's going to leave you exactly where you want to be at. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to take those steps and go to where he's trying to bring you. And a lot of that takes sacrifice. That ties into sacrifice as well. So it's like, if I really want to get to where I'm going to get, I have to look forward and I have to do what I'm destined to do. I have to go and get it. I have to go get my blessing. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be looking back. And I would say an example of that, for example, is you can't be checking up on people, seeing how they doing, still got them on social media. Like, if you block somebody and it's because like, I'm not trying to keep up with you and it wasn't healthy, block them. Don't be unblocking them, trying to stalk the page. Go forward, keep moving, like keep it going, you know? Yeah, I was in this relationship for 6 months, y'all. I was in a relationship for 6 months. And during that relationship, I went on a spiral. Like, I went on a spiral when it came to self-worth, when it came to anything. Like, I just didn't put myself first in that relationship. I would give my partner everything. Everything was about my partner. I wanted my partner to look good. I didn't care about myself, right? So after that relationship, I was bitter, and I was sad that I was bitter. So I was just crying to God, like, you know, I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel anger towards the person, because I'm a person that's going to tell somebody that you're not the victim in your story. I'm going to tell myself that. So it's like, I kept telling myself, like, you're not the victim though. Like, you got to take ownership of what you did. You put them first in your life, and you need to put yourself first in your life. So you're the only one to blame. So basically, after I took the blame for that, I was like, that same effort every single day I was pouring into that person, I'm going to pour it into myself. I'm going to change my ways, and I'm going to see what happens in those 6 months, because 6 months, when I tell you, drastically changed my life for the worst. I was like, all right, what can I do for 6 months for myself that'll change it for the better? And I feel like just having those conversations with myself and holding myself accountable led to things I could never imagine. Like even today, like when I say, like, I did not imagine this school when I was a little girl. That wasn't my dream when I was a little girl. It was literally something that I feel like God gifted me with, like a dream that he gifted me with, because I proved to him that I could be disciplined and I held myself accountable. God likes to see the intention and the effort. Like, I don't know where I was at a point. I was like putting motivational speeches on all of my reels that I used to post. I already noticed that consistency pays off, because from younger, just wanting my following to go up, it went up gradually from me being consistent, me posting, people, blah, blah, blah. But in this future, it was like, in the future present tense, it was like when I wanted my space, because I had went through something where God gave me an idea, and I would say in like 2 months, somebody else had the idea, and I was bitter again. Like, oh my God, I had that idea first, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, I have nobody to blame but me again, because it's like, he keeps giving me these ideas and I'm not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting no intention into this idea. It's not like I'm looking for spaces, or I'm starting a draft, I'm drawing it, I'm writing it out, I'm putting little seeds into what I'm trying to plant. I just would have the idea and be like, you know, like perfect timing. When I get all the money, I'm gonna make it happen. So I feel like with this idea, when he gave me this idea, I was like, nah, let me go look for spaces. Let me go see how much spaces is. Let me go gather my numbers. You know what I'm saying? So when he did give me the idea, I literally went to go look at, like, I probably looked at like 34 spaces altogether, and I didn't have no money for it. So even like, that's another story, but even all the people's here I did, none of that money was what contributed to the school that I have today. Like, I had to go back, grind, hustle, do 8 heads a day, literally work every single day except for Sunday. Sunday was God's day, but I had to be intentional. So I would just say, whether even it's like, I want to have a class. Okay, start looking at people's classes. Start trying to see what type of class you want to host. Like, you just have to be intentional. It's very important. So I would say intention and consistency is much more powerful than motivation, you know? Well, I know that faith plays a huge role. So people say that faith is quote unquote delusion and all of these other words, but I feel like faith is to know. So it's not delusional, it's you know. You know, they'll say like people that are really motivational, whatever the case may be, people that are high up or whatever the case may be, they're crazy. They have to be crazy. And it's like, you don't have to be crazy, you have to know. So I would say it plays a huge role. You have to know that exactly what you're trying to do is going to happen. Like, I had this dream because it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? So faith plays a huge role in everything. You got to TP, think positive always. And yeah, if this can't happen, all right, what's next? How I'm gonna make this happen? Because at the end of the day, I say this too, like, my plan A is my plan A. I don't have a plan B and a plan C. My plan B is gonna be, okay, if plan A doesn't work, how am I gonna make plan B work to make plan A work? Or how is plan C gonna make plan A work? Like, the whole thing is to make plan A work, because that faith, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have faith. It's a huge thing. It's a big deal. Balancing being patient, you know, and you have dreams and aspirations, you have to believe in God's timing. Like, I feel like once you start building that relationship with him, you become okay with the process, because like I was saying before, like, you'll see why you couldn't be doing this and having that, if that makes sense. Like, in the end, you'll see. So he doesn't show you the big picture at the end, but he'll start to, you know, remove and stuff like that. So patience is everything. It took me a very long time to get rid of those habits that I told y'all about prior to, and you kind of don't get rid of those habits until you're tired of yourself. Like, you have to be tired of yourself in order to really step on it, and, you know. So yeah, I would say patience is a big thing. It's a big thing. It's a big deal. You got to trust him. You got to trust his timing. I deal with people that are like real friends or people that have hidden agendas. I feel like, personally, in a good way, I'm very non-confrontational, I feel like, and they say non-confrontational people are the most, it hurts the most because we slither away, like we gonna go away silently. So one thing about me is, I don't know, like I said before, y'all, not even I don't know, I know that discernment that I told y'all that I prayed about, it's gonna be very clear what is for you and what is not for you. It's going to be very clear who's for you and not for you. Like, they're going to be exactly who they say they are. So I would say to listen to people when they talk, when they do anything. You have to listen to people and trust your gut. It was just a situation the other day. I'm not going to get too into detail because I'm not trying, this is not the Air It Out podcast, but this is the Air It Out podcast. So basically, it was a situation where I had a friend, and you know, like, you want your friends to show up for you. Sometimes they don't. But yeah, had a friend, blah, blah, blah. The person tried to apologize for not showing up for me, which was cool. But then on the back end, I did find out that the person was trying to come to me that day. Like, the true intentions was coming to me to ask me for more help with ideas that day, until the person realized that I was hurt about them not showing up for me. So I feel like people be having just hidden agendas, you know what I'm saying? So you just have to trust your intuition. Like, it sucks, but you can't be sad, which is so like crazy. Like, not even you can't be sad, but don't dwell in your sadness. Okay, you wasn't for me, next. Like, you have to be excited for that next person that's gonna come, that's going to be for you. And I feel like also let go of the wanting to have friends. You don't need to, like, when God become your best friend, I'm telling you, you don't need no friends. I feel like when you're younger, it's like you want all the friends in the world, or if you don't have friends, people is looking at you like you the fake one. It don't matter, girl. I don't care. Maybe I am the fake one. I am about me. I put myself first, and I'm in my selfish stage right now. It's about me, it's about God, and that's all your life really should be about. You don't need friends. Like, don't be blinded by I don't have no friends. So what? Because people don't be true friends, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it gets hard out here, but trust your intuition. If you feel like this girl, for example, me, this girl only coming around when I just told somebody this the other day. I was telling them, I'm like, that's not your friend. Like, they telling me a story. I'm like, that's not your friend. She like, oh no, but that friend. I'm like, if that person only invited you outside when they need you to do their hair, that's not your friend. My friend was basically telling me an example of the person asking them to come outside with them, and then the person was like, oh, I can't do your hair, but I'm gonna be able to come outside. The person never sent the address. You think that's coincidental? If you're a person that believes in coincidences, babes, your life is gonna be not too right and not too bright, because it's like you have to trust that discernment. You have to trust those voices in your head. This person is not your friend, it's a user, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard, but you gotta stop. You just want what God wants for you. Stop wanting stuff on your own. Like they say, cancel out all expectations of people and just go with it. You know what I'm saying? Go with what people are showing you. They're gonna be exactly who they say they are. Yeah, y'all have to understand that ambition without patience leads to burnout, y'all. Like, y'all will burn out just freestyling, trying to go mad hard, and yeah, you have no patience. Like, you're just ready for what's next. Like, you have to appreciate small wins, okay? So that means, like, every single thing you have to show appreciation to. He has to know, like, she's appreciative of this level, and this level. All right, now I could give her this level. You know what I'm saying? So every single thing that you get, you have to be appreciative for. So take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rise to get up. Mama used to say, Child, when I tell you, I've set a lot of boundaries, y'all. And the biggest boundary is I come first. And that is called, I do what makes me happy. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't do my friends' hair. So that's one. I don't do my friends' hair, quote unquote. I don't do my friends' hair. Sometimes my friends literally do sit in my chair, but that boundary is like, I don't do my friends' hair, meaning you can book online. Okay, so if you want to book a service with me, you can book online. I don't do like my friends here that write me like, hey girl, can you squeeze me? I had to cancel all of that because it used to eat away at my inner happiness. I was not happy on the inside, like trying to please others. So that comes to what I said in the beginning. I come first. Everything about me comes first, whether it be how I feel, anything, it comes first. And I felt like I used to get in arguments like with people. Oh, you said you could squeeze me in and now you saying you tired. Girl, we not friends. Why you don't care that I'm tired? Just get on the site. I'm not about to be accommodating people that are entitled, because a lot of that comes with entitled. And I'm something is coming out real soon, y'all, and y'all gonna see. But basically it's just like, it's the difference between an entitled client and a friend. Like, because a lot of that just be entitled clients and you're calling them a friend, but really they're just entitled clients. Like, y'all hanging out when it's time for you to do their hair. Like I said previously, like it's a lot of stuff where it's just y'all only talking when it comes to hair. Oh girl, what hairstyle should I do? Girl, what? Stop talking to me. I do hair all day long. Why do you think on the time that I have off I want to be talking about hair? I want to talk about what Day did to you last night, girl. I want to talk about the dreams that you have. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about other stuff. I don't want my time that's supposed to be not about hair to be about hair. So I feel like that's the boundary I set. Like, I'm not about to be creating friendships off of the fact that I do hair. If somebody has come into my life and it's like, oh girl, I love how you do hair, thank you. Am I about to say let's hang out? No, because you came to me with hair as the topic. So I feel like that was a huge thing for me. If something circles around what you do, so let's not talk about hair. Say you do makeup, you do lashes, whatever the case may be. If somebody is really only hitting you to do that, it's a business relationship. Keep it as that. Don't try to call me your friend though, because that affects me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it irritates me. You only want to talk about this, so let's let it be business. Get on a site, or this could just be business. Don't start telling me your business, because I don't care. Don't tell me your business and you really trying to only be business level. So in practice of giving things to God, yeah, it literally means releasing control and giving it to God. So this was something that I talked about earlier. It's that trust. It's that relationship that you're building with God. Literally, like, you have to trust him. Like we talked about before, God's timing, all of that. And I would say saying thank you. So even just before, where we talked about celebrating those small wins, you have to be thankful of everything. Like, thank you God for breathing. Thank you for giving me eyesight. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Like, and just trusting that, you know, you have to be okay with whatever he sets for your life, if that makes sense. So you can want to be a millionaire, a billionaire, whatever the case may be. If God said, babe, I want you to be a fisher that lives on the river, and I promise you're going to be happy, you have to believe that. You know what I'm saying? If that's where he sets your life to be, you're going to be happy. Trust that you're going to be happy. But it's like, you have to let go of the I want this and I want that. And I feel like you'll only get to that point of not wanting this and wanting that when, like I said earlier, you're tired of what you're getting. So for example, I'm praying hard to do celebrities, this, that, and the third, and then I'm doing them and I'm unfulfilled. Like, why I'm not happy, why I'm not, you know, I'm buying this piece, I'm buying that piece, I'm still not happy. I'm feeling like it's one more thing I gotta get. Maybe if I get one more thing, I'm gonna be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like when he comes with your purpose and then you're serving that purpose, you're gonna be so filled. You're not gonna be wanting nothing but anything else that he got for you. So just know that when you are stepping in your purpose, you're going to be fulfilled. You don't have to question that. I stay rooted in faith with prayer. Like, prayer, not only prayer, but just knowing, like I told y'all before, just how he don't send nothing with question marks and stuff like that. You have to understand that God is going to test you. So I was watching a show, right? It's called The Chosen. And his disciples, y'all have to understand, God had a whole bunch of disciples before he had those 12 disciples that the Bible focuses on. So people didn't understand why they were still going through things though. So it was like, they were following him, you know, they're doing everything he's asking them to do. They picked up their cross, and it's like, they're still going through things. Their wives are facing miscarriages, their life, they're getting kicked out of their houses. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just came up to somebody and robbed them. Like, a lot of trials and tribulations were happening, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, Jesus tells you, like, just because you believe in me doesn't mean you're not going to go through struggle, or you're not going to go through worldly things. We're not in heaven yet. we are on the world, so in the world, so you're gonna go through worldly things. But the thing about it is you have to practice how you're gonna go through the things. You have to be like, all right, I'm gonna go through it like this. I'm not gonna give it a negative reaction, because that's not of God. That's not like him. You know what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself literally, WWJD, what would Jesus do? Like in a moment that's not going your way, you have to believe like, all right, this is for the better, or I'm not supposed to have this, or, ask for the lesson. Like, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? The other day I just got robbed. Everybody like, oh girl, I would have been crying. I would have been dying. Girl, please, like that was a test. You have to walk through life knowing that stuff is a test. He got to see, was you about to idolize that bag that just got robbed? You know what I'm saying? Was you about to make your world about that bag? All right, now I know not to give you this, because you're making that your everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just cried about this when I'm about to give you, I probably was about to give you 20 million bags after that, but you crying about it. Like, so it's just like, ties back into that idolization topic. Like, you can't be idolizing nothing but him. Trust him, y'all. It's all about the trust. If you really trust him, you're gonna let you're gonna let stuff happen. That's something I'm working on too. My mouth is a little funny, but yeah, trusting him and knowing like he got this, he got this, he got this. So another prayer that I prayed for when I first was starting my journey with God was for a clean heart, because I was noticing that, my thoughts and stuff that I was having wasn't like him. So I was feeling like, all right, maybe I don't deserve the things that, I want in life, because of the fact that I'm not really nice inside. So that was something that I had to realize too. And just like that, when you go to heaven, the animals got 5,000 eyeballs on them, right? If you're a type of person that goes to heaven right now, if he sent you to heaven right now, you like, oh my God, I'm scared. Oh my God, what the hell is that? If you're like that, then you're not having a clean heart. You're not having the eyes of God. You're not having, the energy of him. So even right now to this day, it's like now I can say like everybody is beautiful. If I'll see anybody right now and be like, they're beautiful in this way, that way, whatever the case may be. But it's just like having a clean heart is really being like him. You know what I'm saying? You have to ask him, I want to be more like you. You have to take accountability and acknowledge the fact that you're imperfect and that, you're not like him for real. And you have to pray like, I want to be like you. How can you make me like you? And he'll start to work on those things within you. So you'll start to see like, oh dang, like I used to think like this, now I'm thinking like this, and it feels better. You know what I'm saying? You'll see it like, oh my gosh, I want to get away from this person. Their mindset is they're a mean girl. We'll say mean girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be like him. You want to be nice. You want to be loving. You want to be giving. And yeah, you want to be empath. You want to be like Jesus. It feels great to have God on my side. I feel like every single day, people don't realize it's like a relationship with a guy. So it's like every day you're getting to know him, and it's cool because he already knows you. So it's like, I'm just getting to know you. So I feel like it's really good to build your relationship with God. And I feel like don't ever watch somebody else's journey and be like, oh, like they're more connected with God than me. Like every day is a step closer or a step further. Like they say, sometimes you can take 2 steps forward and 1,000,000 steps back. So, but you got to know he forgives you, but don't abuse the forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like it feels great when you know that he has your back and he's always there throughout whatever you go through. So yeah, it feels amazing. External validation is literally how I was telling y'all, like, I was asking, can I do this? Like, not even putting who I wanted to do in my prayer, but just begging to do celebrities and then feeling unfulfilled. You know what I'm saying? So once you see that the things that you're praying for don't make you internally happy, you'll stop praying for specific things and you'll be like, I want what you want from me. Or you'll ask God beforehand, like, God, I want this. If you don't want this for me, it's okay, but let me know what you want from me. So yeah, that's what I would say. I need some recognition. I'm not new to this. Yeah. What I would say, how do you remind yourself to get back into following your purpose rather than like your selfish wants? I would say, like, when you realize that you're not trying to satisfy him. if that makes sense. So you're not doing this because it's making God happy. You're doing it to make yourself happy. Okay, so I feel like even me wanting to do this podcast, right? It's like, I really want to do a podcast. I really want to do a podcast. But I know if I do this podcast, God has to smile when I do this podcast. So I feel like me doing this podcast, you know, it had to circle around, you know, my Lord and Savior, the one that's making this possible, because it's like, he has to be happy at the end of the day. I couldn't have this podcast and be like, I'm gonna do a podcast about how I hate everybody and how I feel like I'm the best hairstylist. Like, that wouldn't make him happy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when you're doing things that you want him to be proud of, not just you want to be proud of, that's when you know, like, that'll help you, you know? So you can question everything that you do. Like, did I do this for self, or did I do this for him? So envy and comparison, baby, you need to acknowledge that you envious and you comparing. Okay, because, all right, seriously, y'all, people really don't want to be bitter, or they don't want to be jealous, but the real tea is that we all get a little bitter, we all get a little jealous, we all have human traits. You know what I'm saying? We're born into sin. Okay, so like, you can try to make it whatever you want to be and be in denial about it, but the truth is, you'll only be set free from it when you can acknowledge. It's like when you go to rehab and you're an alcoholic, they say the first step is to acknowledge that you have a problem. It's to acknowledge that you're an alcoholic. So he's only going to free you of bitterness and jealousy and comparison and all of that once you're able to admit, like, God, I'm feeling this right now. Can you please cleanse me of this? Like, you have to be able to ask him, and he already knows what you got going on. So you being in denial is not going to make that not the case. You know what I'm saying? You have to come to him wholeheartedly, like, God, I suffer with this. Please help me with this. I don't want to be like this. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's something, you know, you have to acknowledge. And something else I would say is just focus on y'all. Like, that whole selfish journey, it works and it helps, because it's like, you only are about you. You can't be stalking other people's pages. Oh, I want to be like this, I want to be like that. Be like you. Compare yourself to you. Compare yourself to what you was like last year. Let yourself be the competition. You know what I'm saying? Be a better you. Balancing multiple streams of income can be really, really hard, but the thing is that you have to be intentional. And multiple streams are not even of income, but multiple streams of different things that you want to do can leave you drained if he is not involved. So even doing the podcast, like, I knew that he had to be involved. Like, I couldn't be on here talking about how I'm the best hairstylist and this is a tea talk about how I'm the best hairstylist, because it wouldn't serve him. So everything that I do, I want it to be serving him. I want him to be happy about every single thing that I'm doing. If I'm teaching classes, I want him to be happy that I'm helping people. You know what I'm saying? I'm helping his people. You know what I'm saying? My sisters and my brothers. So you want everything that you do to be intentional. You want to sit down and ask, like, oh, would he be happy about this? You know what I'm saying? I literally treat every single client the same, and just anybody can vouch. I talk to my clients the whole time. Like, I'm not a silent type of person. I won't say I've never been silent during a client. I have been silent during a client when not even just my energy was off, but I felt like that client was a client that wanted to, because you'll have clients that sometimes want to see a different you know what I'm saying? Or be like, oh, I've heard this, that the experience is like this, let me test it. Or some people want to see a reaction, you know what I'm saying? If I say this, let me see how she reacts. That's the only time I'll be quiet, because I feel like you're trying to see a different me. But I'll honestly say, like, my clients are literally my therapy session and I'm their therapy session. Sometimes I'll come in there trying to get a whole bunch of stuff off my chest, and sometimes they'll come to me trying to get a whole bunch of stuff off their chest, or, you know, so I'll say, like, we become each other's therapy session, and, you know, it works out. So I'll say, I just want to treat people how I would want to be treated, or just treat them how I feel like Jesus is treating me. You know, he treats everybody with love. So you want to be an example of love. It gets tricky, you know, you want to pick the easy thing instead of the hard thing sometimes, because you just want what you want. But it's like, those easy things come with a whole bunch of strings attached. Okay, so even with me, it's like, I used to, like I talked about earlier, just having those friends, you want to do it. Oh my God, I just want to help my friend out. But they'll not be respecting nothing that you got going on, your guidelines. They'll not respect that you have another client after that, whatever the case may be. Or even those squeezins, they'll come with so many problems. Their hair will be wet. They'll not have all the money. It'll be a lot of things. Or even just when it comes to your business, I spoke about this a little earlier, but when it comes to your business, it's like you'll have people, for example, we'll say a partner wanting to invest in your future, whatever the case may be, and it's like, it sucks. That easy thing sucks, because it's like then you'll have somebody holding over your head what they've done for you, and it's like you don't really want that in real life. That doesn't feel free. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to just have what you have and have it because God did, not because somebody else did. And I would say even that I had investors try to invest in my business, and it was like, no, I can't have y'all invest in my business because that comes with contracts, and those contracts say I only have this, that, and the third because of you, or this has to go through because of you. And it's like, I know God gave me this dream. So I would say don't take the easier way. Just do the hard work so that you can really reap the fruits of your labor without the strings attached to it. Just say stand on business. Stand on business, y'all. When you fail, I feel like it sucks, but it teaches you so much more than when you just are winning, because you're able to learn the lesson from when you're failing. So example of failure, I would say, is, we won't even call it failure. We won't say failure, but it's just like you not setting that boundary, you know, you saying this is my price, and you working with those celebs. For example, me working with those celebs, getting that money 90 days later. But when I do regular clients, I'm getting my money right there when I'm doing a service. Like, that's so fortunate. And that's me not setting my boundaries. So I would just say, me going through those feelings of feeling away because I'm getting paid so many days later was the lesson. I was able to be like, all right, now I'm going to move this way. I'm going to make sure that I get my money like this. If they come to me with the net 30, net 60, net 90, telling me they're going to pay in 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, I'm going to say that's not for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be willing to give it up, because a lot of us like want things so bad that we'll go with things that are crossing our boundaries or just don't make us feel good internally. This short story time. So when I first moved back from Atlanta, it was because I was working with so many celebs. I was unfulfilled. I was unhappy. I couldn't find myself. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have no boundaries, whatever the case may be. So I would say that was a moment when I wasn't giving up, but I was pivoting my focus. Like, I wanted to find me, one, but also see, like, what's my purpose? Like, what am I here to do? You know what I'm saying? Because what I wanted to do isn't what I want to do anymore. So I would say that was me, like, pivoting my focus. Yeah, I feel like giving up is just like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I could have been in Atlanta and all that stuff could have been happening to me, and I'd be like, I don't want to do hair no more. Like, hair is just not for me. This didn't go my way. But it's like, no, like, I know that I love doing hair. I know that it makes me feel good. I know that this is my passion. I'm not going to give up on my dreams because stuff isn't going my way. I'm going to find out the lesson in, you know, what I was doing to make it work. I feel like there's a difference in challenges, and there's a difference in this is not for me. And that's just basically like, say tomorrow, like, now the president is asking to meet me because of everything that I have going on. Like, that's a challenge that I want to take on. You know what I'm saying? That's a challenge where I'm going to get speech classes. I'm going to, you know, all of that stuff is going to be in advance for me. It's going to better me. Now, going through stuff that's eating at you internally is when, you know, I have to let this go. So if it's you sacrificing, you putting yourself first, for example, I used to work with people and my time was not valued. So it was like, I'll be waiting for them for hours upon hours upon hours. And it's like, I could have taken clients. I could have taken my regular clients and been chilling. So it's like, when stuff eats at you internally, I feel like that's when you know, like, okay, this is something I have to let go, besides something that is going to add value to my life. Like, there's certain challenges that you want to face, and there's certain things that you go through and you're like, I shouldn't be going through this. We're all gonna go through things, and nobody is having a perfect life, no matter how they're painting that picture. We're all going through things. So I feel like that's what helps me to keep my composure when things don't go my way, or just remembering literally what I told y'all earlier, that it is God's plan. So if it was my story to write, cool, I could be mad, but it's not my story. So you just have to like remember, like, if this isn't going my way, it's because he didn't want it to go like that. He wants it to be his way. So yeah, I feel like my background played a huge role in who I am today, just because a lot of people don't understand that a lot of successful people are successful because of the why, or because of them wanting to change a predicament, or because of them never wanting to go through things that they went through ever again. Like, you go through things sometimes and you're like, they're traumatizing, but there's two different types of trauma. You know, you're going to go through some things, and then like if you witness somebody do crack, you're either going to become a crackhead or tell yourself, I'm never going to do drugs. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I went through so many things as far as living shelters, projects, house to house, whatever the case may be, or even just witnessing my mother go through abusive relationships, which shaped me to be like, all right, I need to build a life for myself where I'm never going to be in that predicament. Not saying that I never will be in that predicament, because anything can happen to anybody, but I feel like those humbling experiences created me to be who I am today. Like, I don't want to settle for this, I don't want to settle for that, I don't want to go through that. So I feel like it depends on who you are internally. You know what I'm saying? What type of person are you? Like, what does the trauma create you to be? Like they say, like a diamond in the rough, or like the pressure creates a diamond. It's like you have to be able to go through things and be like, okay, how am I going to not be in this predicament ever again? You know what I'm saying? Because when you're kind of younger, it's like you're put into a family or household, and your parent is gonna handle things differently from you. You know what I'm saying? They're a totally different person. So sometimes people can be in an abusive relationship and you'll be on the outside like, girl, just leave. But it's like, it's hard for them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for me, it helped me because it was like, all right, I'm going to be able to see these signs and I'm going to walk away. Like, I'm not going to, I feel like my time is my money. So I'm not about to be investing my time in certain things. I'm going to walk this way, I'm going to walk that way. So yeah, I feel like the lessons that I learned when I moved back to New York from Atlanta was still self-worth. Like, I still was coming from Atlanta, still not trying to put God first or myself first. When I came back from Atlanta, I jumped into a relationship. So yeah, I was annoyed and stressed out from doing all these celebs and stuff like that, but I literally didn't want to be alone. So I feel like coming back to New York helped me to appreciate my solitude. Like, I actually went through that hard relationship that I went through, that I talked about previously, that 6 months, and I was like, all right, God, like, now it's just gonna be a me and you, because that just, God, you just put me through the fire with that relationship. Like, you already put me through the fire with my career, but now you want to put me through my fire in the next move that I had. So like, the last move that I had was only myself and him. So yeah, I feel like it just helped me to appreciate my solitude and put him first. I literally want to be somebody that inspires others and show people that, you know, with faith and discipline, anything can happen for you. If somebody was listening and they wanted to start like their personal growth and development with God, the important advice I would give is just to literally focus on yourself. That's one. Don't get distracted by like the outer things in life, like what he or she or them is doing. Literally be patient. That's top T. Be patient. Trust God's timing. Be consistent and be intentional. Pray, set those boundaries. What else would I say? And just trust him through every little. Trust God. You just literally have to know that when you prioritize yourself and your growth, the world will literally eventually align with you. So everything that you were chasing, you won't be chasing nothing. Everything will just be coming to you. So yeah, that's what I would say. Like that, see? That's it for the Pink Table Talk. You're here with your girl, Chastity Autumn. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to talk about God and faith and everything that God has done to better you as a person, better me as a person. And drop comments, questions, concerns below, or any people that y'all want to see on the couch. and we gonna have them, we gonna question them, and we gonna see what's really good. So yeah, bye.
I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye, set on his goals Kanye. I hate the new Kanye, the bad mood Kanye, the always rude Kanye, spaz in the news Kanye.